It's time. Don't even play with me. We got the refines here, courtesy of Ree as always. Shout outs to Ree. So, Choose Your Legend 6, Brave 6, as well as remixes for H3 and Female Byleth, and then the Tempest Trial Keaton. So, we're starting strong here. We have Brave Seliph going first. Now, he's my favorite of the CYL6 cast, because, of course, he's dressed in his father's clothes. So, let's take a look here. Let's see what he's got. Alright, Kanto 2 looks like HP up 3 as well. -1 special trigger. If unit or foe initiates combat after moving to a different space, grants all stats of 5 to unit during combat, and deals damage equal to X times 10% of foe's defense, where X is the number of spaces from starting to ending position of whoever moved with a max of 4, excluding on AoEs, and then also if his HP is over 25% at the start of combat. If his HP would be dropped to 0, he survives with 1 HP, so he keeps his miracle effect. Once per combat, doesn't stack with non-special effects that allow him to survive with 1 HP. Alright, so everything here looks basically the same. They didn't change his base weapon. Alright, let's see what his refined effect is. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants a bonus to all of his stats equal to 5, plus the number of foes in 3 rows or 3 columns centered on him, times 2, with a max of 11. Okay, more stats, very important for him. Reduce the percentage of foes' non-special DR by half. Oh, wow, they gave him that, too. And reduces damage from foes' first attack by X during combat. Wow, non-pierceable DR, too? That includes brave attacks as well. And then reduce damage by X when foes' attack triggers foes' spell. What the hell? They gave him built-in XL? X is the number of spaces from starting to ending position of whoever initiated times 3 with a max of 12. And he recovers 7 HP after combat. Wow. Holy shit, dude. They cooked. And you know why this is good. You just give him XL in the A slot, and then he just doubles up on XL. With the Miracle, with more stats, which was very huge, he needed more speed, particularly because 42 speed is not looking so great in this day and age. But with the plus 11 now, that's definitely looking a lot better. He cuts DR. DR was like one of his main weaknesses, like enemies that just have DR. Because he didn't have a way to pierce it, but he had like a shitload of true damage, actually. So, yeah, pretty good. It's very basic. Like, they didn't really go out of their way to give him anything too crazy, but he kept what he's already doing, and then they just added more power to it, which is obviously very good. Alright, let's move on to Brave Chrom up next. I think this is, like, most people's favorite out of CYL6. Alright, so HP up 3, -1 special trigger, effective against armor. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 5 to unit. Grants a bonus to all of his stats equal to the number of bonus effects and penalty effects active on himself times 2. And reduce damage from foes' first attack by 40%, including their brave attack. And then also, if a bonus is active on him, then he gets special acceleration on hit. I don't think they changed anything here either. I think this is pretty much exactly what he was doing before. Okay, let's move on now. Let's see what his effect refine is. If a movement assist like Repo, Shove, Pivot is used by unit or targets unit, grants reduced percentage of foes' non-special DR by X% and neutralizes foes' bonuses during combat to unit for 1 turn. Oh, he doesn't give that as a support? That would have been pretty good. I was hoping they were going to do that, like how Lucina, when she uses Future Vision, she gives allies a bunch of effects. Like the legendary one gives guaranteed follow-up, and then the Attune, or not the Attune, but the rearmed Lucina gives Treachery, which is very powerful. So I was hoping he was going to give support on his reposition, but he doesn't, so that kind of sucks. Alright, then also at the start of combat, if his HP is over 25%, then he gets all stats of 5. And he deals damage equal to the number of bonus effects active on himself, excluding stat bonuses, times 4. Wow. With a max of 16, excluding on AoEs, and then he recovers HP. I was hoping they were going to give him true DR as well. They only gave him true damage based on bonuses. It's a lot, though. It's up to 16%. Or not 16%, but just 16 points, which is good. They gave him some more stats, and then cuts DR in half, and then nullifies foes' bonuses as a status effect to himself. I mean, I guess it's fine. There's nothing stopping him from stealing that effect, though, which is, like, the only sucky thing. Like, let's say you have Legendary Camilla on the team. She already gives this as a support, cutting DR by half. So he could repo any ally if you have Legendary Camilla on the team, and he'd already be getting this, so it's kind of redundant. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling Seliph a lot more than this guy, to tell you the truth. I think giving Seliph built-in Excel was really dirty. And then they gave him more stats, too. He doesn't need to rely on bonuses like Chrom does, so Seliph's stats seems like they're going to be a little more consistent. Okay, Tiki. What do you got for us, baby girl? Let's see. All right, HP up 3, -1 special trigger, effective against Dragon. If unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 5 to unit during combat. It makes a guaranteed follow-up, and also if unit's attack can trigger their special, grant special cooldown count -1 to unit before first attack during combat. And if the foe's attack can trigger their special and unit's res is better than the foe's res +5. I was hoping they were going to remove the +5, or give her the +5 as opposed to the foe. Inflicts scowl on the foe basically before the foe's first attack. Can't exceed foe's max special, and then adaptive damage if the foe has a ranged weapon. Okay. Alright, now let's take a look at this special effect. Wow, this is not as long as I was hoping. 1 paragraph? Come on, Tiki. Okay, unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range, so they gave her built-in distant counter, which is good. You would have had to run the distant counter seal or, like, distant bonus doubler on her. I mean, I guess distant bonus doubler is good enough. Like, you could have just ran that. But this gives her more access to different ace skills. As more passives release, ace skills are eventually going to get better than distant bonus doubler. Okay, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants a bonus to all stats equal to 5 plus 10% of unit's res at the start of combat. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 20% of unit's res. And reduce percentage of foes' non-special DR by X% by 50, basically, during combat. That's it. Oh, that's very lackluster. Yeah, that is very unfortunate. Oh, man, Seliph wins again over this one. Oh, wow. I wasn't I mean, Seliph probably needed the least amount of help. The only thing Seliph actually needed was more speed on his refine. They gave him that and more. Right, but, like, Tiki needed a whole laundry list of effects to really come back to life, and this... I mean, they gave her, like, some good stuff, right? They gave her more stats, of course, very good. I guess built-in bonus, or built-in distant counter gives you access to your seal again. And then DR cut by half, that's... Bro, people are gonna run Lagoo's Friend on her, so I don't know why they did that. Oh, man, my Theory Craft refine for her was way better than this. Okay, now let's take a look at Byleth. So, apparently... the runner-ups are getting all the good food. So hopefully Byleth ate. Alright, we got -1 special trigger. At the start of turn, if unit is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants no follow-up to unit for 1 turn. And also, if unit's special cooldown count is at its max value, grants a further -1 to unit. Okay. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 5 to unit and reduce damage from foe's first attack by 20% of unit's speed. Oh. Okay, so this is the first weapon that has been significantly upgraded on the base weapon. So they're giving her speed-based DR now. And also, if special triggers before or during combat, grants -1 after combat. So she's got full-on Times Pulse 3. And they just added, basically, speed-based DR here on the enemy's Brave attack, which is very good. Alright, let's see what else they gave Byleth. Alright, Canto 1 innate, pretty good. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants a bonus to all stats equal to 5 plus 10% of unit speed at the start of combat. Unit deals +7 damage, excluding on AoEs, and neutralize effects that inflict guard on unit during combat, and also when unit's special triggers, nullifies DR effects from foes' non-special skills. Okay, I was hoping they were going to give her that, and they did. I don't know if she's getting enough speed here, though. 5 plus 10% of her speed. So her speed, what is this, 44? Let's just use her base speed here. So it would be, what, 10% of 44 is 4.4. Is this at the start of combat? Yeah, it's speed at the start of combat. So, like, in-combat skills aren't really going to help her out. Unfortunately, like, attack and speed catch 4 right there is not going to count towards her 10% speed. So 5 plus 4, basically all stats of 9 with the all stats of 5. Is that enough? Because this is a unit that really needs to win speed checks for the way that she's trying to play. She's basically like a tome version of Attuned Erica, is the best way I could describe her. Yeah, I don't know, man. What's interesting, though, is that we just got the Ice Tribe Felicia. I think it was Felicia who gives support, drive, null... Or, yeah, support, drive, null follow-up. Or null C-disrupt, rather. So, like, that could be very good for this Byleth, as well as all the other Vantage units that are trying to, like, Vantage sweep without being infantry type. So that would go doubly for Dimitri units, like Christmas Dimitri. I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. She's got, like, some good stuff here, but I feel like she needed a little more. Why is Seliph, like, so easily the winner out of Suge Legend 6? It's not even close, man. Yeah, and also, like, his weapon needed the least help, and they gave him more help than necessary, compared to these other guys that needed, like, maybe Chrom didn't need as much help, but they really didn't give these guys anything worthwhile, compared to what they gave to Seliph, man. Oh, my gosh. All right, let's move on to Keaton up next. Okay, grants a flat defense up 3. He has HP up 3 as well. If foe initiates combat or the foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants speed, defense, and res up 5 to unit. Inflicts defense -5 on the foe. Deals damage equal to 20% of unit's defense. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack and nullifies unit's penalties to attack and defense during combat. Okay, then of course we have the beast the typical beast transformation for infantry types. So if he's not adjacent to anyone or only adjacent to beasts and dragons, then he transforms and he gets attack up 2. +7 true damage on specials, and then nullifies guard and enemy acceleration, so tempo. Alright, and then his special effect refined now is if unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, grants speed, defense, and res up 5 to unit. Inflicts defense -5 on the foe. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by 15% of unit's defense. Ooh. And reduce the effects of deep wounds on unit by 50% during combat. I don't know why that's there. That is so random. Is this guy trying to heal? Not really. Alright, if unit is in 3 spaces of an ally, recovers X HP to unit as unit's combat begins. Okay, that explains that. So triggers after effects that deal damage as combat begins, and if unit's defense is better than the foe's defense, X is 20. If units max HP plus the difference between stats times 4. Otherwise, X is 20% of units max HP. And then max of 40% of units max HP plus damage dealt to unit as combat begins. Basically, they just gave him built-in Breath of Life 4, is what it looks like. Kind of a random effect to give to this guy. I don't know if he is the type of unit that wants to just be healing a ton. Because a lot of units that are relying on melt damage are mages. And this guy is not going in front of any mage with 20 res. So, yeah, I'm not sure about this. It's good. It's a good effect. I just don't know if it's a good effect on him. If it was a support, though, that would have been pretty fire. Like, if he could also give this to allies. But it's only for him, unfortunately. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at H3 now. All right, so hopefully these remixes are good. All right, grants attack up 3, enables Canto 2 from turns 1 to 4. If unit initiates combat, or if the number of allies adjacent to unit are less than or equal to 1, inflicts attack and res -6 and speed -5 on the foe. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack and deals damage equal to 15% of unit's attack during combat, excluding on AoEs, and recovers 7 HP to unit after combat. Alright, they made quite a couple of changes there. Alright, let's see what else. So the effect refined, at the start of turn, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts attack and res -7, sabotage, and schism on the closest foes and any foes in 2 spaces of those foes through the next actions. Yeah, automatically good. That's what we're looking at right now, just global debuffs. Sabotage, schism is pretty good, right? Like, I don't think any global debuff at the moment has schism included. So sabotage, there's a couple of units that have sabotage, but schism, this is the first time we've had that as a global debuff, which is good. Okay, also at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts penalty on foes attack speed and res during combat equal to 5 plus the number of foes in 3 spaces of target. including the target, reduce damage from foes' attacks by X during combat, and also when foes' attack triggers special, reduce damage by X again. Wow, they gave her Excel as well. Okay. Alright, X is 3 times the total number of bonus effects active on unit and the number of penalty effects active on the foe, excluding stat bonuses and penalties with a max of 12. Yeah, that's very good. Oh my god, yeah, no, that's very good. Considering her refined beast skill, and then you add this to the mix with her... Dude, Excel is such an easy and free way to buff units. Like, just give Excel to every refine at this point. Oh, man, yeah, no, this is a very good refine. So, Atri is cooking. Atri and Seliph so far are in the lead. Alright, let's see if female Byleth can give those two a comeuppance. Alright, -1 special trigger. If unit initiates combat or if there is an ally in 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit, grants all stats of 5 to unit, reduce damage from foe's first attack by 30% on their brave attack as well, and also built-in tempo. Okay, we're not done yet. For allies in 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit, grants all stats of 4 and also grants tempo to those allies as well. So support tempo in 3 columns and 3 rows is very good. I was very hopeful that her C skill was going to do the same thing too. Her C skill gives Scowl and also like Rally Spectrum Light. So like if her C skill was 3 rows and 3 columns to allies as well as herself, that would have been fire with this now, but it's not, unfortunately. Alright, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants a bonus to all stats equal to the number of allies in 3 rows or 3 columns center on unit times 2 plus 5 with a max of 11. And deals damage equal to 20% of unit speed during combat. And also when unit special triggers, nullifies enemies' DR from non-special skills. Yeah, pretty good, honestly. Because you're going to want to give her Resonance for more DPS, or either Resonance or like... what's the other one? Occult Strike. You'd probably want to give her that in the beast skill, so she already cuts DR right there, and then, well... Resonance has a reducing DR effect on it, right? So, like, maybe Occult Strike would be better on this unit in particular. But if they have Scowl... Well, you don't have to worry if they have Scowl effects, because she has Anti-Scowl on her C skill, right? So, yeah, I think this is pretty good. I think Atri's is a little better. If only her C skill was granting that support the Scowl and the Rally Spectrum to allies as well as herself, I would have had no problem saying she's better than Atri, but as it is, I think Atri might be slightly better. They're both really good, though. Both of these remixes are very good, and then Seliph. Oh my god, that's not Seliph. There we go, that's my boy. They did him so good. Alright, so that's going to wrap us up for this batch of refines. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about CYL6's refines, but like I said, I think Seliph easily won. Like, it's not even close.